Hey, what's up everybody? Thanks for checking out episode 32 here of the Poker Monk vlog. For those of you who may have missed it last week, I announced that I started working with a new strategy coach, a guy named Mark Warner who runs a website called exceptionalpoker.com, and it's just been going awesome. It's been a ton of work, but I can already see improvements in my fundamentals and the way I'm kind of thinking about and approaching the game. And man, I just cannot wait to see how much of an impact this is going to have after I've been doing it several weeks. So really looking forward to continuing coaching with Mark here. If you haven't yet gone over to exceptionalpoker.com and seen all the great and completely free stuff that Mark has to offer, do yourself a favor and head over there and check it out right now. Okay, maybe not right now, but finish watching the vlog and then go over there and check it out. You'll find a link to Mark's website right here in the description below. Some of you have mentioned in the comments that in the last couple of episodes, I haven't been showing kind of the like fun stuff that I usually do, going to museums, taking day trips around Virginia, that kind of stuff. The reason I haven't been showing you guys that stuff is pretty simple. I just haven't been doing it. I've been just so busy between my day job, editing this vlog, playing poker, and then of course now doing all the study that Mark has me doing, and I just haven't had much of a chance to do anything extra. This isn't a complaint in any way. I can't even begin to tell you how fun it's been kind of diving into the rabbit hole of poker here, putting in more hours, studying, really getting involved in the game. It's pretty awesome. But I will say this, me, my wife, the dog, we're taking a road trip out to South Dakota next week to visit my sister and her family, so I should be able to pick up some pretty cool footage out there. Plus, I will put in at least one session at someplace out there in South Dakota to show you guys that as well. Also, I've got some planned trips in August. I'm going to be doing some overnight stuff, maybe just going to Maryland Live, maybe Philadelphia if I can find the time, and probably at least one trip to Atlantic City as well. I think I've got a good episode for you guys today. 2 poker sessions, lots of hand analysis. I think you'll like it. Let me know in the comments. Enjoy the episode. Hey, what's going on everybody? It's Friday, about noon, and it's just another beautiful day here in Charlottesville, Virginia. Check out this view. Just gorgeous today. I'm about to head out to Hollywood Casino to put in another 1-2 session. I'm getting a little bit of a late start, so I may have to play a little shorter of a session than I'd like. But other than that, I'm feeling super good. Coming off a pretty good win last week at Hollywood Casino, so hoping to book another one of those and maybe start a little bit of a winning streak. That'd be pretty awesome. But yeah, just gonna throw on my lucky socks here and head out. I'll see you guys there. Well, we made it safely to the casino. It is hot as balls out here. Man, it's 90 degrees, but it feels like it's 200 degrees. The humidity is just crazy in Virginia right now. But yeah, we made it here. Gonna get into a game. Bravo says there's like 10 or 11 tables going, so that's twice as many as when I'm normally here. Hopefully have good action today. Gonna go put my name on the list. See you in there. Just taking a break here in the luxurious food court here at Hollywood Casino. Feeling a little frustrated right now. I'm down a little, not much, just like 70 or 80 bucks, but all because I made just 2 boneheaded calls on the river. One, I had pocket 5s on a king, jack 4 ace board, and I was just positive the guy had nothing when he bet on the river. Of course, he had pocket aces and just had that little nothing of a full house. So stupid, real fishy. And then another hand where I had ace queen and the turn and river king, king queen, and a guy bet out and I called him on the river and he had ace king. But if I had given any thought, I know this player, he would never have bet on the river with anything less than a king there. So just stupid play on my part. But so yeah, I'm just trying to take a breath here and get my head back in the game. So all right, I'm gonna get in there and grind out a win today, or at least try and play my best, right? I'm in a game right now that is great and super frustrating for me at the same time. There's 3 new players who are all honestly playing about 80% of their hands. So, and they're playing super passively, which, you know, is awesome, but I'm just getting sucked out constantly. I'm getting very few hands to play, but when I play them, I'm just getting sucked out on the river. It's really super frustrating. Should be just easy money in this game, but you know how it goes sometimes. I'm getting killed. I'm down about a buy-in and a half right now, so, but like I said, it's a great game, so I'm gonna get in there and keep trying to grind it out. Actually haven't had a ton of interesting hands today. It's been kind of straightforward and just some suck outs on the rivers and stuff, but I think I've got a few hands we can talk about. Let's head back to the house. In this first hand, I'm in the hijack with about a $200 stack, and I pick up pocket fours. There are 3 limps ahead of me, and I bump it to $12. The under the gun player and a middle position player call. I know you guys may think that this $12 is a little bit on the smaller side, and I agree it is, but this was early in the session, and I've been trying to figure out exactly kind of how small I can raise and still kind of accomplish my goals. So if I can make it $12 and limit the field, I'll do that. If it takes $16 or $18 to limit the field, I'll do that. And I think you can see here by only getting 2 callers, $12 is actually pretty effective in limiting the field. Anyways, $41 in the pot, and the flop comes Queen 7 Deuce Rainbow. It's checked over to me, and I decide to bet just a little over half pot and toss in $25. And everyone folds. Not an exciting hand for sure, but it does illustrate a point I'd like to make about raising these small pocket pairs pre-flop. I know that a lot of you newer players and some of the wrecks out there like to limp in with these small pocket pairs, pretty much just set mining anything deuces through nines. And for maybe the first 10, 12 years of playing, I did the same thing for the same exact reason. But remember, when you limp with these small pocket pairs, you pretty much have to hit a set or flop some kind of straight draw to continue with the hand. But if you raise pre-flop with these small pairs, you give yourself an additional way to win, especially when you miss on a super dry board like this one here. Just something to keep in mind. All right, hand number 2. I'm in middle position with about $120, and this time I pick up pocket fives. There's 1 limp, I bump it up to $12. The button, the small blind, and the under the gun player call. So $48 in the pot, and the 4 of us see a flop of 5, 10, 7 rainbow, gin. It's a super dry flop, and it seems pretty safe to go ahead and slow play this hand. The small blind, he bets out $20, and I'm the only caller. So $88 in the pot now, and the turn is the king of spades. The villain who has me covered, he immediately and kind of surprisingly shoves all in, and of course I snap call for my last $88. So $264 in the pot, no more betting, and the river comes a beautiful blank. It's the 3 of clubs. The villain pretty confidently turns over king 9 offsuit, and my hand is good. So let's take a look at the villain's line here. He limp called out of position pre-flop with king 9 offsuit. Then he donk bet the flop with just total air, and then he shoved all in with top pair weak kicker on the turn. Like I said, it was a pretty great game. All right. Let's head back to Hollywood Casino. All right, that's gonna do it for poker tonight. Man, I hate leaving that game. It's so good right now. Not only is there 3 players playing about 80% of the range, there's 2 players on top of that playing about 40 to 50% of the range, and they're all playing pretty passively. So the problem is you have to make a hand. They're calling down. It's tough to make a good hand, especially when you've guaranteed you've got 3 players in there, and usually it's 5 or 6. So I ended up doing okay though. I flopped a set on one of these players and pulled in a pretty decent sized pot. But so I end the day minus 33, which, as I told you, I think I was down a little over 300 about an hour and a half ago. So it's a pretty big swing. But it's tough leaving this game. It's the kind that you can make a lot of money in a single session, but I just got to go. I've got responsibilities I got to take care of. Not to mention I need to get home and put out this vlog. But I'm gonna go home no matter how much it hurts. There'll be another day. Hey guys, what's up? I wanted to give you kind of an update here about how things are going with coaching and what I'm working on right now. I'm taking the afternoon off and just concentrating on kind of all the homework Mark has given me to work on in between coaching sessions. As I'm sure most of you guys know, the actual coaching sessions are only kind of a small part of the work that really needs to be done. The real work kind of takes place in between sessions. So I'm sitting here kind of going through the stuff and figured you guys might like to know exactly what Mark's got me working on this week. So a couple of things that we've decided to focus on, at least this first week, are one is the math of the game. I have struggled a little. I've always kind of been a feel player, for lack of a better term, and haven't concentrated as much on the math as I need to. So this week Mark has sent me a webinar that him and a guy named Sky Matsuhashi over at Smart Poker Study. They put together a math webinar. It's about 2 hours, maybe 2.5 hours. So I'm studying that. Of course, it's taking me way longer than 2 hours because I'm pausing every few seconds to take notes and kind of work through some of the stuff that they're showing. And it's been pretty awesome. It's a great webinar. If you guys are interested, head over to Sky's site or to Mark's site and check that out. Another kind of fundamental thing we've been working on is my continuation betting frequency and getting me to really think kind of deeply about why I'm not continuation betting in certain situations. In order to do that, he's got me reading a couple of articles that he wrote for his website, and then also some other stuff on continuation betting that I found on my own. So really kind of focusing on that this week. I also mentioned that in our first session, he watched me play online. We recorded that session, and Mark went through each hand and has given me notes. So I'm kind of going one by one through each of those hands and looking at where my leaks are, what I did good, what I did bad, things like that. It's actually been super helpful. And then finally, I'm doing what I've been calling focus sessions. I didn't make up that term. In fact, I think that's a Sky Matsuhashi term. But these are sessions where I'm playing for just a single table, usually a zone table on ignition, very low stakes, the 5 NL, maybe 10 NL sometimes. But I'm playing the game as if Mark's watching me. So I'm actually speaking out loud, kind of talking through each hand and explaining exactly what I'm doing, why I'm betting, why I'm folding, what each player's range is, all that kind of stuff. It's a lot of work. It takes a lot out of me to sit there for a half hour and just go through every single hand and verbalize everything. But man, you guys, you should try this on your own if you haven't done it before. It's fantastic. It really makes you think and verbalize exactly why you're doing stuff. Nothing is on autopilot. I've had issues with kind of autopiloting, fold, raise, just out of habit, and this is making me really think about what I'm doing. It's been pretty awesome. So that's how I'm spending the afternoon here. Like I said, all this study has just been awesome. I really feel super focused. I'm learning so much about kind of all the leaks I have, but also it's been encouraging. I've learned that I'm doing some things right, and it's made me feel a little confident in building on my game here. So, yep, gonna get to it. I'll talk to you guys later. Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Monday, and I'm heading out to MGM to put in a 1-3 session. Looking forward to it. It got out of the house by 9:30 a.m., which is a real early start for me. So I'm gonna have plenty of time to play without any kind of pressure about having to leave early. So feeling good about that. Also looking forward to a new promo they've got running at the MGM. Normally I don't like the promotions that they have there. They tend to shy away from high hand promotions, and I like high hand promotions. They can make your opponents play poorly. A lot of players, when they have these big high hand promotions, they'll get a little sticky when they shouldn't. They'll play hands a little more passively, trying to hit these high hand promos. So anytime your players are making extra mistakes, playing poorly, obviously that's a good thing. So I like the high hand promos, but the one they've got going at MGM today is a table drawing. So once an hour, they're drawing a table, and if you happen to be at that table, you'll win $300, which is pretty cool. Normally in a high hand promo, only one person per hour wins, usually. But in this one, potentially 10 people per hour could win. So I don't know, it just seems like with only maybe 20-30 tables going, which is what they should have today, you've actually got pretty good odds of hitting it. So it does give a pretty significant bump in your hourly equity, which is always a cool thing. So looking forward to that. Also, finally had a chance to go through all the notes my coach, Mark Warner, sent me about our last session. And so there's a lot of things that I'm gonna try and practice today at the table. I'm taking this coaching really seriously. I'm kind of thinking of the next month or so as kind of a poker boot camp and really trying to step up my game here and make some real progress. But yeah, it's a beautiful day out, great day to play poker. Really looking forward to getting out there and playing a real focused kind of A-game session. We'll see how I do. I'll keep you guys updated throughout the day. See you there. All right, just arrived here at MGM, checked Bravo. Looks like there's 18 tables going, about 12 or 13 1-3 games, and no wait list, so let's go get in a game. Well, I've got myself into another game where everybody's gambling it up, and I just can't seem to make a hand, or at least I can't make a hand hold up. I'm getting crushed right now. I've only been playing, gosh, 2 hours, and I'm already down 470, 480, somewhere like that. So I'm just getting crushed. Just, you know, another one of these games where nobody's folding. You got to make a hand. The problem is the bets are really big. There's a lot of straddles. People are raising a little on the higher side than normal. So to get in there with a hand, it's expensive, and if you don't make a hand, you're just losing a bunch of money, and that's where I'm at right now. The bummer is, you know, I have a stop loss of 2 buy-ins, so 600 bucks in this game. So I'm getting close to hit that. Unless something, a little bit of a miracle happens, I'm gonna be out of this game pretty soon. But it's a kind of a bummer, but you know, I'm just gonna do my best. Just keep trying to play good hands and play them well. And can't really do anything more than that. The rest of it's just variance, so. All right, gonna get back in there. Maybe I'll hit the table drawing for 300 bucks, and that'll save me a little bit. But you know, it's never fun to be in that spot where you're hoping to hit a promo to get even. So, all right, see you guys in a bit. All right, about 4.5 hours or so into this session, and I'm still trying to grind back a comeback here. I was down just about 2 buy-ins. I think I was in for about 5. I think I was down to my last 40 bucks. So I was in for about 560, and now I'm down only 1 buy-in. So I've got a stack of just a little over 300 right now. So I'm trying to grind it back. Hopefully it keeps going that way. See if we can get a little more of it back. I don't know if I'll be able to win everything back by the time I gotta go, but I'm gonna do my best. Getting back in there. All right, got some hands to talk about. Let's go back to the house and do it. In this hand, I'm in middle position with about a stack of $250, and I pick up King Jack of clubs. There's 2 limps ahead of me. I make it 15 to go, and the under the gun and under the gun +1 call. So $49 in the pot, and the 3 of us see a flop of ace of diamonds, king of hearts, 10 of diamonds. This board, of course, is super wet, so I need to proceed with caution here. With middle pair and a gut shot, I go ahead and c-bet $30. Only the under the gun player calls. Heads up with $109 in the pot now, and the turn comes the jack of spades. Good and bad here. I hit 2 pair, but of course now any queen completes the straight, and the turn action goes check, check. So still $109 in the pot, and the river comes the 9 of hearts. The villain, he bets out $45 into 109, so just a little less than half pot. The villain could definitely have a queen here, but I think there's also a lot of missed flush draws in his range that he might be bluffing. Plus, there's a lot of single paired hands that he might be betting here, hoping to push me off a better hand, like maybe 2 pair, trying to make me think that he possibly has a straight here. So I'm getting 3 to 1 here. And I decide that this is a good place to go ahead and turn my 2 pair into a bluff catcher, and I make the call expecting to lose the majority of the time here. But I'm very happy to see the villain turn over 9-6 of diamonds for a missed flush, and we take down the pot. In this next hand, I'm in middle position with about $180 in my stack, and I pick up ace queen offsuit. A fairly tight player who looks to be about in his early 60s, I would guess, he raises to $7. I call, and the big blind call. I think I made a mistake here. With the ace queen, I really think I should have raised, making it maybe $20, $25 to go. But I had been getting beat up pretty good in this game, and I'd started to play a little more cautiously and slightly more passive than I should have been. But anyways, $22 in the pot, and the 3 of us see a flop. Comes great for me. Queen, queen, 8 rainbow. For God knows what reason, I get fancy here and try to hide the strength of my hand. So when it's checked over to me, I check behind. This is just kind of dumb. There is just absolutely no reason for me to not bet for value here. I think at this point, I'm obviously experiencing a little bit of tilt and definitely just not playing my A game. So like I said, it's been checked around, and the turn comes the 9 of clubs. The big blind, who was pretty aggressive, was kind of constantly just taking stabs at the pot with air. He suddenly bets out $45 into 22. So a pretty good size overbet here. Then the under the gun player, he shoves all in for $101. I just don't see how I can lay this hand down here. It just seems way too strong, especially only for a $101 call here. So I make the call, and the big blind folds. The only hand I was really worried about here was pocket 9s. This seemed like a line that might be possible for the under the gun player. Maybe he's a little timid with these small pocket pairs, so decided to raise pre-flop in a really small way, making it only 7. Got a free card and got lucky and hit his set on the turn. but that is only one hand in his range, and it just seemed like a call here was in order. The river is a blank, the 3 of clubs. I flip over my set of queens, and the villain, he slow rolls me and turns over a Jack-10 off for a straight made on the turn. Ugh. I just was not including Jack-10 off in his pre-flop raising range. Like I said, this was a really tight passive player, and raising under the gun with a hand like Jack-10 off, a pretty weak hand from early position, just didn't seem like something that was in his character. But you know what? Sometimes people do some weird and surprising shit. I guess it's what makes the game so fun and oftentimes so profitable. So we lose this one, but hopefully we'll win the next. All right, back to the MGM. Well, the dream of a glorious and heroic comeback has been pretty much crushed. Taking a pretty big loss today. I feel like it was just a roller coaster of a session today. I was way down to my last $60, and then I made a big comeback all the way back up past $300 or minus $300, but all the way back up to just one buy-in down. And then just now at the end of the game here, I got all in twice, flopping the nut straight each time, and both times the guys caught runner to make a flush on me. Just brutal. So what can you do though? I don't feel like I made a ton of mistakes today. I just feel like I got a little beat up by variance. So what can you do? It was a good day though. All in all, I hate losing, but I did get to work on all the stuff Mark and I have been talking about on our coaching sessions. I was trying to put people on hands, whether I was in the hand or not. I was working on making kind of active decisions, with my value betting and my bluffing, and so I feel good about that. But hate taking the loss. I don't know if I said what the loss was. Minus 487 for the day, so kind of a tough loss, but I'll get it back, no worries. But I haven't said this in a while. If you guys like the video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't. Otherwise, I'll talk to you guys in the next video. See you later.